Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger. I've got another full tank review for you today. This time it is the Cheeto. This is a Japanese Tier 6 medium tank. You can see it here in the garage. Characteristics: great gun depression, 10 degrees. Super accurate gun. Good penetration. Not much in the way of armor. And for a medium, does not have very good mobility either. Taking a look at the tech tree, you're going to find this is a pretty common characteristic. Once you start getting up, the Chibi is going to have an autoloader. But once you get past that, the STA-1, Type 61, STB, you're going to get into more mobility, but you're still not going to have a lot of armor. So keep that in mind. Super accurate guns, not a lot of armor when you're playing this tank. I am running 41 rounds of AP, 13 rounds of the premium AP, and just 11 rounds of HE. Only going to be using that HE on the back of AMXs and stuff like that. Equipment, not a tank that I expect you to keep and love and want to play over and over again. So, you know, just put your first level equipment on here. Gun rammer, defense system, and improved optics. I could see you spending some extra credits there on the engine accelerator and perhaps the supercharge, but outside of that, I really wouldn't spend any extra coins on this tank. Just wrong button there. Just checking to show you here. The gun comes with a 7.5 millimeter. It's quite capable gun for you to grind through up to the Type 5 Model 1 here. You know, and so I would obviously upgrade your gun first and then work on the rest of the equipment. So just doing a quick comparison here with these Tier 6 mediums on blitzstars.com, you can see that the Cheeto comes in close to the top in damage per minute, and is the top as far as that penetration of 155 millimeters. Everything else is going to be right in line with the rest of these tanks as far as your alpha, your reload, and so forth. Where this gun really shines is obviously this aim time at 1.9. It's the only one under 2 seconds. The dispersion is also pretty good. It's not the best in class. And then you've got your negative 10 degrees of gun depression. So certainly a very workable, more of a sniping type gun than anything else. Because what you're going to notice here when we move down to movement and mobility is it is one of the slowest medium tanks. On top of that, your armor isn't that great either. While you do have 75 millimeters in the front on your hull and turret, what you really want to focus here is on the sides. 35 millimeters on the side of your hull and 50 on the side of your turret. So you're going to see a lot of HE shot your way, and that's kind of just a generality in these Japanese tanks. And, you know, if we move down here just into this 90-day average, I thought this was kind of interesting. I want to point this out. All of this green means that every one of these other tanks is better. So as far as the mediums go, this Cheeto performs the absolute worst of any of these tanks. So like I said, this is a very difficult tank to play, and we'll jump into some gameplay, and I'll show you just a few tricks on how to play it a little bit better. Alright guys, here we are, first game on Desert Sands as bottom tier. Now, keep in mind I mentioned that this is a really good sniping gun, and you don't have a lot of armor, so really going to want to try to play this on the outside of the map wherever possible, and then also on hills. And you can see here I've just stayed at the back waiting for this game to unfold a little bit, and I thought that AMX was going to come on the inside of the railroad tracks, but we take a shot on the Comet now that we're focused on him, and you can see that nice gun depression there. We're up over this hill, and we're going to get a second shot into him, and he's going to get finished off. The downside is that it was just 1 on 4 here in the desert, and the rest of the team went heavy alley, so you can imagine those guys are not long for this game. Thankfully, a couple of them held back. You can see them there. And so it wasn't a complete slaughter. But we're going to cross over the bridge here, the railroad track, and get into the fight, so to speak. And one of those where that AMX stopped and I thought he was going to keep driving. Keeping a track, looking to my right, just making sure that those guys aren't going to go. Had to switch over to HE real quick on the Nashorn. There's going to be a few tanks you can shoot HE here on the side of the AMX. Now, keep in mind, do not shoot the tracks. I've got a great example of that coming up. You will not get any or very little damage if you shoot on the track. So we fought back, and we are now down one tank. And you can see my inclination here is to put some distance between me and those enemy red tanks, which are primarily all heavies, obviously. So I see this IS-2 1945, and it looks like he's coming around the corner. So I'm going to back up and get myself positioned to back behind the corner, and he doesn't show up. So instead of just waiting for forever, we're going to turn around and try to help out this T-34-85 as much as possible. But he's in a bad situation. And unfortunately here, that shot on the SU goes to the right, and we bounce off the side there. So aim for the tracks. We're going to track him in place, and we're going to get another shot in there. And as we are shooting at the IS, we get him out. Here comes the Jackson, and you see how we got a lucky bounce there. That must have been into the mantlet. So calling for a little help. That AMX is the only one left. He is on a reload. And I've seen now that 1945 is behind me. I know I'm going to take a big shot up the butt. Here it comes, 435. So we've saved all of our hit points here until the end, and we needed them. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get around the corner for that reload on the 1945, seeing as I tried to shoot him before he got behind the building. But you can see I'm just looking at the mini-map, waiting for that AMX to come around the corner. There he is. He's ready to go. I'm ready to go. We go at the same time. We'll finish him off. And you can see I switched over to premium AP there just to make sure that wherever that shot hit, it was going to go in. And you can see keeping this gun in the game as much as I did there, 2,000 damage. So obviously with a fast-firing, high DPM gun like this, you can do a good amount of damage if you can keep your gun going. Now I'm going to switch over to another game on Naval Frontier as bottom tier, and this one is quite hairy at the end, and it's kind of interesting. You know, I do like pushing up to the middle on this map, even though I've talked about staying on the outside. There's a lot of hiding places here, so I don't feel like I'm too overly exposed in this position. Obviously I can pull behind the rocks there. And notice that their team is headed up high. Just waiting for this game to unfold. Trying to keep a lookout everywhere. And now I'm spotted. And that's that E25 to my right. So I've got an SU. He's turned around. I think we're both got the same mindset here. We're going to go after him, thinking that he is all alone. Obviously he's a very fast tank. Swing around the corner here, and he takes a huge shot. Nice accuracy on the Cheeto there, and thinking again that he is all alone, I'm going to push in, try to keep him spotted. SU's got eyes on him. There he is. Going to trade that first one and back around here. Obviously he's got a fast reload, and we just end up trading 2 shots there for the kill. Now I'm turning back around, thinking I'm going to get out of here, trying to get that shot on the Emil, and that's when the Cromwell B comes up. Now look at this, and he's full health Cromwell. I'm only at 600 hit points. We'll get that first one into, and he's going to back down the hill. Both tanks here, really good gun depression. So I get that first one in, he bounces, and just waiting for him to go into attack mode, get another shot in. Now I'll drop adrenaline, and basically even the score here. on hit points and get another great bounce there. And we're fighting it out, and I think I've got the kill shot all lined up here, and I don't know what I hit, but I didn't zoom in, and that cost me. And so we end up reloading and finishing ourselves with only 40 hit points left in this game. It's 4-on-3, but you can see all of our other tanks have very low health. 3-on-3 at this point. Everyone 2-on-3. The odds are not looking good at this point. So I'm noticing the KV-1S coming around the corner here. Want to get in a shot as he's going for that J Panther. Get one in. Not much I can do to get a second one in as he goes over the hill. And really now it's 2-on-1. That J Panther, obviously he could not survive that. So decisions at this point in time, right? I figure that they're going to be headed towards cap. I mean, there's two of them, one of me. I'm only at 40 hit points, and I get spotted here, or I get a shot in on the KV. And again, don't like. I really shouldn't have taken that shot. That was not a shot that was going to go in. You see that Emil misses there. I get one in. I'm hoping I can reload fast enough, but I just don't want to chance it. And he's left with 26 hit points. So, like I thought, the IS has gone into base, and I'm hoping that Stuart Emil makes a mistake and comes around the corner, but he is not going to do that. So now I got to go protect the base. Obviously, they know I'm coming. We got our 50 kilometers, but that's downhill. So we'll get down to our normal speed here, 40, 45. And I couldn't believe this. I get up to the edge here. And nothing. Not even proximity spotted. Nothing. So he must be right behind that wall. Got basically know that the Emil's coming, so I've got to go. Drop down. Now we're proximity spotted. And I stop, and he misses. And we've obviously got the reload on a KV-1S and finish him off. So now it's 2 one-shot tanks. Not sure which side he's going to come on. He could have had time to come around the other side or this side. And I'm just trying to take a peek, and there he is. And what I don't realize is that he hasn't seen me. I've seen him, and I really could have taken my time to take a better shot than that. But I kind of rushed that shot. So now he's trying to maneuver among all these dead tanks, and I let him through. I couldn't believe that. Now I'm proximity spotted again. Obviously not enough time to cap. He can be patient. I could be patient. We could end up in a draw. Or I could go for the win and pull out and snap a shot. And yeah, that happened. We killed each other. But it was a fun game. You know, one of those games you love to play, heart racing. 2056 in damage, 4 kills, and a draw. Alright guys, here is the ultimate bottom tier. You can see, yes, I'm tier 6 in a tier 8 game. Ugh. Platoon fail, that's what that is. But anyway, Canal, Supremacy, and yeah, there's no way that I am going to D all by myself, or even with that T-44. So you know, one of the things I do like to do, especially with a tank that's got really nice gun depression like this, is let's get low into the valley here. Nothing really spotted up, so using my mantra with this tank to try to stay on the outside of the battle as much as possible. Coming up a steep part of the ridgeline there, so we're not going to get our gun depression down quite enough. So we'll have another try at that. Let's pick a little bit flatter spot. We see this IS. Set him on fire. It's going to really help our stats in this game. And then Walkie Talk, he finishes him off. T-44, here's a tier 8. Luckily he is showing me his side. And we are getting a couple shots in. Didn't realize I was pulled up quite this far. And take a shot there. 400 hit points. Must have been from the SU. Very fortunate it wasn't worse than that. We're taking some shots on the run here. And not getting them to go exactly where we want. But we'll take a second aim and finish off the SU. As you can see, the situation's not looking great because they've got 2 caps and we have only got 1. So we got to work on getting some of these tanks out of the way. And of course, with me being such a low tier, I'm not really doing a lot of damage. T-29 looks like he's in a bad spot, so I'm protected by this rock. I'm just going to work on tracking him. Sure enough, the IS-5 finishes him off. Now they've got all 4 caps, and we've only got a 1 tank advantage. Walkie Talk gets another shot into the T-49, and we were in the same room during this game, and I told him here, I said, don't kill the T-49. I said, I got him. Save your shot for someone else. But he didn't really listen. He might have had a chance to do some serious damage on that T-44, which Russian bias there showed that that was not going to bounce. No red. But with that frontally sloped armor, obviously it did bounce. But you can see they're at 925. We got to get kills. I got to get 2 shots on this type T-44 and just blew that shot into the rock. Of course, they end up capping out. We've got this IS-5 who's got his gun pointed the wrong way. Yeah, just completely outplayed there, that IS-5 was. So anyway, even being 2 tiers down, we end up with 1443. It was a very commemorable showing, obviously. And for some of you newer guys, the ±2 was a thing when this game first started. So you often did find yourself up against tanks 2 tiers higher than you. Alright, so let's flip Canal around here and we'll look at it as top tier and spawning from the south side. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm just biased against this map, but I think the south side seems to be a little bit better as far as ease to win. Interested in your thoughts on that. I just think that if you've got a lot of heavies go on the heavy side, they're more exposed on the north side. But anyway, you can see here I've been a little bit aggressive and come straight into B. Like to go ahead and put pressure on the other team by capping bases. And again, nobody's to the right of me. I know that because I've got teammates out there that went and got D. And so I can come around the corner here and put pressure on that easy 8. Know that AMX is there somewhere, but can't see him because of the building. So we'll go ahead and take the building out. And you can see here, just using my gun depression in this ridge line, taking my shot, dropping down. And, you know, that's the great thing with this tank. It's such a fast aim time. You're going slow. You really can just snapshot these in. The fence is in the way. That's why I didn't choose HE there. I would have ended up hitting and blowing up the fence. Now the jumbo's coming around, so we'll shoot him in the tracks. It's one of the few penetrable shots there from the front. And we're going to go ahead and just rush this jumbo here in a second. get one more shot. It's 500 hit points to my 970. Calculate, you know, even if I trade shots, we should end up with half of our hit points left. And you'll see as we're coming in here, it does look like we can penetrate the front. But we do bounce that one. He turned it right as we were shooting him. And so just trying to get the sides if at all possible. And get a real nice roll there at 189 to finish him off. Take a real quick snapshot there into the type. Get a hit into the turret there. And he's taken out by KV2. So we're going to sit in cap here and just cap that one out. And just like that last game, South is going to win this one. Just the Leo left. Wait a half a second there to get the aim down a little bit, and we'll finish off the Leo for only our second kill, but you know, we did do a nice bit of damage there at 2,049. So fast firing gun, keep on the outside, and make those aim times as easy as possible. Alright guys, so last game I'm going to show is on Rockfield, and throwing out all that advice I gave you, I am going to be super aggressive on this map. In part because I see they've got two TOGs, that SU 100Y, and I don't expect them to be overly aggressive going to this light side. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and take this hill right here. What that does is allows me to spot them up a little bit sooner, and gets me into this really nice position here of using this rock as cover and putting them into some really difficult positions. Now I've traded a few shots, but you know, you can see my team is doing a good job getting shots in. We see that the TOG's coming now. Take one shot there, that was a mistake, but anyway, we're down to 460 hit points, and finish off the Anko there. And you can see just using this ridge line here, that shot goes into my track, no damage, and he is finished off. I'm not sure what I was aiming at there, that rock maybe. But again, here comes the TOG, slow but sure, and this M4 can't hide behind this rock. So again, getting more shots in, and we'll get the kill shot right there. So very aggressive position, helps set these guys up. Now I've got one TOG to my left, the SU to my left, and so obviously this TOG here is priority. Shooting into the back, obviously there's going to be no problems whatsoever. Now I'm positioning myself actually to start moving forward once that one is killed. Kind of thinking ahead, so to speak. So anyway, this is going to wrap up my video of the Cheeto. It's not an easy tank to play. Don't get me wrong, these games are good high damage games, but you're gonna have a lot of games of 500, 800 hit points, as exemplified in those 90-day stats that we saw. But I think if you can keep your gun on the outside of the map, use that 10 degrees of gun depression, snipe as much as you can, conserve those hit points to the end of the game, come in and trade and take out tanks with your high DPM, you'll do a lot better. Obviously, staying alive, what was the stat that stood out to me is survivability in this tank. So work on keeping yourself alive, keeping that gun in the game, because I tell you, as you go through this line of Japanese tanks, you're gonna love the gun. And I would say they're better than the German guns. So with that being said, hope you learned a few things, and of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And have fun out there. Stay safe and get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.